From making numerous hard shots at his opponent's head which made their world spin, to his impressive footwork that just left the other fighter hitting air. It seems like Vasiliy Lomachenko has had a lot of moments where he's made a fool out of his opponent. So let's talk about his top 10 best moments in fights. And to start off with, I have his fight against Jorge Linares. First of all, let's talk about Vasiliy Lomachenko. That dude is a straight up beast in the boxing ring. His skill and footwork are next level, and it was clear from the start of the fight that he was going to dominate. And Jorge Linares? Well, let's just say he's no slouch either. He's a former world champion in his own right, and he definitely came to fight. But when you're up against someone like Lomachenko, it's going to be tough. The fight started out pretty evenly matched, with both fighters trading blows and testing each other out. But as the rounds went on, Lomachenko's superior footwork and boxing skill really started to shine through. He was landing some crazy shots and moving around the ring like a ninja. And in the 10th round, he landed a devastating liver shot that dropped Linares for good. It was a brutal finish to an already intense fight. And trust me, it wasn't the only one. The fight between Vasiliy Lomachenko and Guillermo Rigondeaux on December 9th, 2017 had the same results. Rigondeaux has got some serious skills of his own, but Lomachenko's movement and footwork were just too much for Rigondeaux to handle. Throughout the fight, Lomachenko was able to keep Rigondeaux on the defensive, constantly throwing jabs and hooks. The fighter's precision and timing were spot on, and he was able to land some big shots on Rigondeaux. In the end, Lomachenko won the fight by TKO after Rigondeaux retired on his stool before the 7th round due to a hand injury. But let's be real here. Even if the fight had gone the distance, it's pretty clear that Lomachenko was the superior fighter. His footwork and boxing skills were just on another level, and he proved it yet again against Nicholas Walters on the 26th of November 2016. It was an epic matchup that had boxing fans around the world on the edge of their seats. If you watched the fight, you would have seen that the fighter's dancing skills were on another level compared to his opponent Nicholas Walters. Lomachenko was constantly moving around the ring and avoiding Walters' punches with ease. His footwork was so quick and precise that it was almost impossible for Walters to land any significant shots. What was even more impressive was Lomachenko's ability to throw combinations and counter-punch with lightning fast speed. He had Walters on the defensive for most of the fight. Nicholas, on the other hand, looked a bit lost in the ring. The fight ended in the 7th round when Walters' corner threw in the towel, conceding the fight to Lomachenko. It was a disappointing end for the Jamaican, but there was no denying that Lomachenko was the better fighter that night. And in a surprising turn of events, the Ukrainian boxer once pleaded with his opponent to throw in the towel. On November 26, 2016, Lomachenko actually pleaded with Commey's corner to stop the fight before the referee finally stepped in. Lomachenko had been dominating the fight up until that point. His superior boxing skills and footwork allowed him to land clean shots on Commey while avoiding most of his opponent's punches. In the 8th round, Lomachenko landed a series of brutal body shots that clearly hurt Commey. He immediately pleaded with Commey's corner to throw in the towel and stop the fight, but Commey's corner didn't respond quickly enough. And it wasn't until the referee stepped in and stopped the fight that it was finally over. But in the next fight on our list, the referee came too late. It was Lomachenko versus Roman Martinez on the 11th of June 2016. From the moment the bell rang, it was clear that Lomachenko was in control. It almost looked like he was dancing around Martinez, darting in and out of range with lightning-fast footwork that left the fighter stumbling to keep up. By the end of the 5th round, Martinez was clearly outmatched. Inevitable. He delivered a devastating left hook that sent Martinez crashing to the canvas, ending the fight in spectacular fashion. And it wasn't the last time this happened. He did the same to Jason Sosa on the 8th of April 2017. Lomachenko was just on another level compared to his opponent. I mean, Lomachenko was just dancing around the ring, dodging punches left and right like it was nobody's business. It was like watching a master craftsman at work. Sosa tried to throw some shots, but Vasiliy was just too quick and elusive for him. And let's talk about Lomachenko's footwork for a second. That dude was moving around the ring like he was on wheels. wheels. Sosa just couldn't keep up with him. He was constantly off balance and struggling to find his footing, and in the end, Lomachenko came out on top with a TKO in the 9th round. Seems like he's gonna be on a TKO roll, cause in the Lomachenko versus Miguel Marriaga fight, the Ukrainian's opponent hit the canvas real fast. The match was a sight to see, that's for sure. The fighter was constantly dancing around the ring, bobbing and weaving, and making Marriaga miss like crazy. It was like he was playing a game of cat and mouse, and poor Marriaga just couldn't keep up. And don't even get me started on Lomachenko's punches. He was lightning fast and precise, landing shot after shot on Marriaga. Unfortunately for the Colombian boxer, it just wasn't enough to take down the Ukrainian phenom. In the end, Lomachenko walked away from the ring on the 7th round, leaving Miguel unconscious on the floor. And 7 seems to be the Ukrainian's lucky number, because once again, Vasily's left defeated Anthony Crolla's fight that April 12th, 2019. It was like watching a masterclass in the ring. Lomachenko just made him look like he was standing still at times. He was constantly circling around Crolla, never giving him a chance to set up his punches. And when he did decide to engage, Lomachenko was just too quick and too elusive for Crolla to land anything meaningful. He was throwing punches in bunches, and Crolla was just trying to survive. The end came in the 7th round when the fighter, unable to continue, he got TKO'd. And just when you think there can't be any more, you go ahead and see the Ukrainian beast knock another pawn down. Going into the fight, many people were predicting that Lomachenko would come out on top, given his impressive track record. And they aren't wrong. He picked up the pace in the middle rounds, showing off his lightning fast footwork and delivering some brutal body shots to Nakatani. The crowd was going wild as the two fighters traded blows back and forth. In the end, it was Lomachenko who emerged victorious. Although Nakatani had committed relatively little offense, the referee decides to end the fight, and as a result, Loma won the 9th round by technical knockout. And for the last embarrassing moment on the list is Vasiliy Lomachenko versus Jorge Linares on May 12, 2018. The fight took place at Madison Square Garden in New York City, and from the start, it was clear that both fighters were at the top of their game. Lomachenko was his usual elusive self, moving quickly around the ring and throwing lightning fast punches. The fight was set at the super featherweight division, and it was a clash of styles between Lomachenko's aggressive, high-volume punching and Linares' counterpunching and defensive tactics. In the end, it was Lomachenko who came out on top, as Linares was forced to retire after a KO in the 6th round. Well, that's all for the top 10 times Vasiliy Lomachenko embarrassed his opponent.